My wrestling philosophy. My wrestling philosophy is this, and it's really from Tucker. My Coach Webb talked with me when I was young, and we were wrestling at high school, and he would talk about mat time. And I'm like, oh, mat time, what's that mean? And he goes, what you do is you go out and you wrestle your opponent, and you cut your opponent. You wrestle them, and you cut them. If you are able to take them down or getting close to a pinning position, you cut them, let them back up, and allow them to get back up and continue wrestling the wrestling match, so that you can score more points, so that you can get more skill development underway, so your techniques and your wrestling skills can improve. Because if you just go out and pin a guy in 15 to 30 seconds, wow, how cool was that? Yeah, that's neat, I guess, in the state final, or when you really want to make sure you win and take the state championship or the region championship. But in my opinion, wrestling is an art, it's a skill. Take what you have and develop your skills. If you've got 2 takedowns, make it 4 takedowns. If you got 4 takedowns, make it 8. If you got two favorite pinning combinations, then use those, but turn it into 4 to 6. So Tucker was a 3-time state champion. He got mad because he didn't take state his freshman year. He used to play basketball in different sports or soccer, whatever it was, and then their teams would lose, and he would get so upset. So Tucker Heap was, like I say, was a 3-time state champion. He worked with me for several years in my roofing and my wildlife business. But anyway, Tucker was a great guy, and he was a very good wrestler. And Jody Warren would teach him to develop his skills through mat time. Coach John Webb, my coach, I never really got it. When I was wrestling, I just wanted to win, and I was kind of afraid to lose. I'd rather win and get it done. Well, the whole philosophy with wrestling is mat time means this. You extend the match as long as you possibly can, score as many points as you possibly can before you pin your opponent in, hopefully, the third and final round. Now, Cardi out of looks like he goes in and he tries to tech fall his opponents and pin them in the first round. I mean, that's fine. But if you get an easier opponent, there's no reason to hurry and pin them, because you could get more. There's a tremendous amount of confidence that is developed when you take a guy down and you could pin him, but you let him up, or you could ride him or whatever, and you let him up, and then you take him down again, and you continue to not try to damage him. Don't want to damage his self-confidence, but allow that match. You're actually helping that opponent, because when you help him by letting him wrestle longer, he gets more skill development too. Well, I taught one of the wrestlers that this year at Fremont, and I said, don't just allow your opponent to escape, so you can retake him down and develop more and develop more of your skills. So the idea is this: stay on the mat as long as possible, tech fall your opponent before you pin them, and work all of your skills. And especially on the weaker opponents, work your secondary and tertiary skills, so that you can save up lots of mat time. It's kind of like a bank account. You take and you add to it, and you develop your skills, and you put more money into your bank account, because that bank account now can be recorded on recorder. You can watch your wonderful wrestling skills. You can watch how you can dominate an opponent. You can watch how the skills that you need to improve, the ones that you're really good at. All my kids, we would sit down after the wrestling matches. We would watch their matches and talk about what they did that was really good. And so it's a lot of fun. But it is a lot of hard work to have mat time. And yes, the team needs the score, the six points for the match. But yeah, I think wrestling is a team sport, sort of. I don't really think it's that much of a team sport. It's an individual sport, in my opinion. You work in the room, you develop your opponent, your wrestling buddies' skills in the wrestling room, but it's really a one-on-one sport. It's you against the other guy. It's not your team against the other team. I guess you can say that, and you can make the argument that it's a team sport. And yeah, somewhat it is a team sport. If you do well, it makes the team do better. But you know what? Sorry, but I don't really. I care about the team, but I really care about myself winning the match and developing my skills so that I can place as high in state as high as possible. But more importantly, I want to learn every wrestling skill that there is, so that I can be a brilliant wrestler, so that I can have all kinds of artistic wrestling techniques, so that when I get older and somebody hassles me or my kids or my wife, I can handle them physically and I can protect my family. I believe that mat time helps us develop our skills, and that we may lose some of those matches where we release our opponent. We might get beat. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Losing is not the end of the world. Developing your skills is a wonderful thing to do, and it's a huge confidence builder. And the better you develop your skills, the more you're going to enjoy wrestling. When you can wrestle without fear of loss, without the feeling of you're always nervous when you go out and wrestle. When you can go out and wrestle with confidence, you're going to win more matches, and you're going to have better videos to show your kids how good of a wrestler you were when you were young. So mat time is critical. It is literally a bank account that you can spend at region and state or at big tournaments. And it's also, mat time is also a great way of showing and learning from your own skills and showing your friends and relatives what a good wrestler you were when you were in high school or junior high or elementary. And then, of course, when you're older, you can show your grandkids, what your skills were. But I really wish that we could know every skill in wrestling there is. I always teach my wrestlers, if you want a full-time personal wrestling coach and trainer, we have temporary wrestling coaches in the room. You have your partners can help work with you in wrestling. But if you really want to be successful, go to KolotWrestling.com. Kerry Kolot explains everything, all the moves in wrestling basically that there is. Plus he shows them in different settings, in slow motion. It is literally the scriptures of wrestling. Kolot.com is the finest website that I've ever found. I think there's a couple others. I think Flow Wrestling's pretty good too, but in my opinion, from what I've seen, I haven't seen a couple of others, but Kolot.com is the very best. So if you want to be a successful wrestler, you need to watch Kolot.com every day, just before you go to bed. Watch 1 or 2 videos, sleep on those videos, learn what you visually learn, do relaxed visual learning, learn what you can from the Kolot.com videos, whatever skill you're trying to develop, look up that skill, find it, watch it. Kerry explains it perfectly. And then, or his wrestlers do, and then in the morning wake up and watch that video again, one more time before you go to school, 1 or 2 videos, watch it before you go to school. And if you can on your phone, just before you go to wrestling practice, watch those videos from Kolot.com. The same video, night, morning, and just before wrestling practice. Then practice that skill at the wrestling practice that you have that day. Now, when the matches come, and you're going to beat your opponent, you're going to totally dominate your opponent. Use those secondary and tertiary skills that you're learning from Kolot.com and in the wrestling room. Those skills that you're trying to develop, use those with your weaker matches. And then, of course, your stronger skills that you have, use those in your stronger matches with your more dominating or your more dominant opponents. Use those skills, but never end the match too soon. Allow yourself the ability to succeed by wrestling the entire match. Now, of course, we want you to win. So if you're worried that you're going to lose and it's going to rock your world, then you can pin your opponent in the second round. Whatever. We want you to win. I want you to win, but I want you to develop your skills, all your skills, so that when you really want to win in the final championship matches, you'll be able to win because you have enough mat time under your belt. The confidence is there. This is Webb's philosophy, taught to me by Tucker, who learned it from Warren, who passed away. Great coach from Weber High, great coach, great man, taught many young men great principles. Tucker taught me. I'm trying to teach wrestlers to do the same. Now, this principle can be applied to life too. Have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Allow yourself to grow and develop, and know that losing is part of life, and that you're going to develop your skills through trial and error and through experimentation. But don't be afraid to win through allow yourself to be challenged. Allow yourself to work hard to develop your skills. Don't feel like, and some people feel this way, if they don't win, they're losers. Well, who cares? I say to my wrestlers all the time, man, I'm the biggest loser you've ever met. I've lost so many times because I have the philosophy of mat time in life. I've lost so many times that I've learned how to win, and it's fun.